Okay, one thing I'll say is the human person
Yes.
is very dynamic and very proud.
Yeah, okay.
There are issues which require real therapy.
Yeah.
And there are
issues that require sugar coating.
Yeah. That's why I find in society we have what we call the copycat.
Yeah.
The copycat tendency.
Yeah.
Where today you go and open up a business and you're doing it because of passion.
Yeah.
And somebody else sees you're doing it and they also want to come and start. They don't even know why you're doing it.
So you said we first know what you want, and then we do, and then we evaluate, and then we plan.
Exactly. The same way another guy was going and saying, I want to marry. And he's being asked, have you approached any woman so far?
No.
No, I've not. Have you tried to get a job so that you can support the wife once he comes to the house? I've not. So you want me to help you get a woman? Okay, just close your eyes. And Muganga goes and comes with a whip.
Yeah.
You know, that is reality now. Once again, welcome to this forum of Unchained Theory, where we unpackage theories to make them more understandable to the masses. Yani tunajaribu kutoa ile mapills nje ya theory so that people can understand. Now, mtu anauliza, what is a theory? A theory is just a statement which tries to describe the behavior of human beings.
Yes.
And theories huwa zinakuja baada ya research. You know, after research, you come up with a statement that tries to describe how people behave.
Yes.
Yeah, so these statements actually are very important because they help in research, and most research is normally based in theories. Yes. So when you know theories, then it helps you a lot to know how to describe the human behavior, and it also makes you knowledgeable so you na deal na watu hapa na pale.
Okay.
Yeah, so welcome guys. This is Unchained Theory once again.
Yes, welcome. As Daktari has said, today we have a new theory for you, and we are going to talk about a theory that I can, Daktari will describe it better, but it is termed as reality therapy theory. Welcome, I'm your co-host, Donald Neko, and
Dr. Willie Zadero.
Yes,
thank you, and welcome once again.
Yes.
So it's just as Zadona said it, this is a therapy. It's all about reality. Now, basically, maybe when we look at when you talk about a therapy, that is now in the background of therapy in the theory. Basically, we are trying to look at therapy. Therapy is just a process where somebody tries to help you to find a solution. And when you talk about reality-based therapy or reality therapy theory, then this is just a theory which tries to explain that helping somebody to get a solution based on the reality or what is happening, what is the current situation. Because when you undergo therapy, there's normally different underpinnings where people used to try to come with a solution. Sometimes you can go for therapy and somebody will try to probably talk about maybe your past. Somebody say this person is probably having problem because of his past. Some of them will say maybe this is a generational kind of thing, so it is biological. So anakwambia shida yako because sababu ya probably nyanya yako fulani alikuwa anafanya hivi, so imepita kwa generation. Unaona? Ni kazi ndio unasikia kwa Biblia, it's a generational kind of thing. Lakini reality inasema present, what is happening currently, dealing with reality. And probably what we're saying is that it talks about the individual having a choice, probably in terms of what occurs in their life. And it also talks about our behavior being controlled by ourselves. That means that we have a choice. So if I sit down behaving in a particular way,
then I chose to behave like that.
Yeah, exactly. Sio kwa sababu ati kitu ilifanyika, lakini is because the choice ambayo we make as a person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and now having known that I choose to do everything the way I do, maybe you can talk about the key principles and concepts of the reality therapy theory.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, kitu ya kwanza tumesema, hii theory is based on the present.
Yes.
What is happening. Sawa?
Yeah.
So, theories, unajua theories and most of the therapy-based theories, they're normally based on the past occurrences, some of them. Yeah, like kuna ile inaitwa the psychodynamic theory, which says that probably how we were treated when we were young, and how we evolved, maybe our sexual behavior and such is what affects the way we behave today. There are processes that we pass through, and that's what affects how we behave. Now, in this theory, there are several principles that tries to guide in terms of when you want to describe a person's behavior. Na kitu ya kwanza inaitwa the choice theory. So choice theory basically inasema kwamba a person has the power to control how they think, how they feel, and also how they behave. So this is very important because ukipata mtu kwa shida, you can easily say that huyu jamaa ana behave kwa sababu ya wazazi. But this theory basically comes up with a statement that you are responsible as an individual. And you know that's very important because people have this idea of shifting the blame here. They are saying, oh, it is this person, it is that person, but that should not be the case. We also talk about another thing is the quality of the life, the quality of life that a person lives. And based on this theory, inasema quality of life yako is normally based on how you think and how you take life. So your beliefs, your ideas, and your thoughts determine your quality of life. Ukiona ka life yako si poa, then it's based on the way you wacha tucheki another situation here. Kuna huyu jamaa anaitwa Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, Mahatma.
Si ndio?
Yes.
Na sasa hizi kuna current life, kuna jamaa very rich anaitwa Bill Gates.
Yes.
Both of them, they felt like they were living a quality life. They feel. One of them probably his quality life is based on maybe his millions or billions or what he has. The other one is based on association with people, maybe coming up with principles of liberation towards people.
Yes.
So hii theory nasema when unaishi, and you know this is very common nowadays that people say, oh, mimi nikipata do nasikia poa, sijui nikipata pesa naishi. But this theory tells us that it all depends on your line of thought and how you control your line of thought.
When I was going through some of these the concept and principles, I came across something that was very catchy, and it was saying that there are two things that were very catchy, in that we have 7 caring habits and 7 deadly habits.
Thank you for reminding me of that. That's very true. So kulingana na theory, they say that there is what we call 7 caring habits.
Yes.
Na easy habits ukidevelop, then you find yourself being better. And you know the thing is to say the key thing is there, it is you who inhibits. When you una hold these habits, it's not somebody coming and imposing them on you. So you have habits. Number 1 is to support. That's more going to supportive. That allows you to probably have a caring heart. Lazima come to encouraging. You must be a person who accepts things as they are. You must be a person who is trusting. You know, they don't trust anything. You must also be a person who's respecting, and also unapenda to negotiate differences. Ukipata mimi na wewe tusikizani, you negotiate. You know, there's this wise man who said that the reason we don't understand other people is because we want them to look at things from our perspective. So wewe unaambia mtu huyu jamaa aelewangi vitu, lakini wewe hujajaribu kumwelewa because you are the one actually he doesn't understand you because you've not understood him or his line of thought. Now about the 7 deadly habits, these are also being described very well in this theory, and these are normally considered to be what leads to unhappiness. Hizi habits zenye based on this theory. Unajua tulisema theory is based on research. So research imefanywa ikaonekana hizi ni habits zenye ukiwa nazo then wewe ni msemo mwenye utakuwa na shida sana in terms of being unhappiness, furaha yako itakuwa down kama hizo. Na utakuwa mtu anapenda conflict pia. Number 1 is what we call the blaming habit. Mtu kublame watu. Kila saa ni kublame tu. Number 2 ni criticizing people. Mtu kila kitu kihappen we kazi ni criticism. Number 3 ni complaining. We have people like nagging. Sikizi hata nasikia nao pia wana nag. Sijui ni kwa nini. Zawadi wasikia nagging. Mtu afikia ni madeo, but sisi we talk about threatening. Unajua mtu anakuthreaten saa zingine is just trying to escape from his own reality. So he's using threats so that he cannot face his own reality. Mtu ataki maswali, so ana use threat earlier on. We talk about punishing and even bribing. You know, kama bribing inakaa kitu common sana, lakini sometimes it's a way of manipulating rewards. Mtu anataka kitu kwako lakini hataki kukuomba, so he uses rewards. And you know, hiyo ndio hata hii culture wa baba zimetoka hapo. Instead of mtu aende afanya mambo yake atumia pesa kuingia hiyo line.
Yeah, now that is very interesting. But I hope that when you criticism is on people, not self-criticism.
Okay, one thing I normally say is
yes,
everything is like fire.
Okay.
Yeah, and fire is good and bad, depending on what you put it on use. Because without fire, we would not be eating probably.
Yes.
Daily. Fire has made everything. The same way to water.
Yeah.
And maybe if I get to that, criticism peer suits to fire. Only if you do it constructively. Yeah. You know, you can be a constructive criticizer where you criticize and then the mistakes you made, you rectify. Like you destructive one, you criticize and then now
you destroy yourself completely.
Down. It kills your self-esteem, self-confidence, and all other selves.
Yes. And maybe lastly, talk about the principle of total behavior.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's also good because this theory does not only focus on one area.
Yeah.
But nasema that as an individual, you should look at yourself totally. That is, you should consider your thoughts.
Yes.
You should consider your feelings. You should consider your acting and also your actions and also your physiology, which is just the biology of the body. Yeah. So, ukitaka act in the right manner. Sometimes, like if I find you down in a problem, then we say that we want to get the solve of the problem now. So, kitu ya kwanza nataka kuangalia down, how are you faring on in terms of your thoughts? Unafikiria nini saa hizi? Number 2, how are your feelings? Because feelings are very important. You know, feelings and thought inform each other. And sometimes if you feel good, then you start thinking the right.
Yes.
If you think good, then your feeling also tend to follow that. We also talk about action, and action is very important because when you just think without acting, then probably there'll be no implication in it. Somebody may not know what you're doing. And finally, the state of the body. What we are saying is done. People say that, oh, my powerful thinking, but it even affects the way you behave, interact with people. So the state of the body is also very important generally. And that's what entails the total behavior in terms of this theory. So you look at a person wholesomely, not only maybe in one aspect.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. And we're looking at the reality therapy theory. I also came across this these synonyms. Yeah, they were talking about the WDEP. Maybe you can expound on what WDEP means.
Yeah. So I'll put it in this way.
Yeah.
The WDEP basically is a way of helping a person.
Yeah.
So I want to take you now maybe as person who has come to me, and you are seeking a problem. So based on these
you are a psychologist.
So I'm a psychologist.
Yes.
Or I'm a person who's well versed.
Yes.
Now I'm assuming once you get this knowledge, you're also going to apply it somewhere.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily have to get
it.
And that goes to our producer too, probably. I hope you also get some of this thing. Now, the W is normally the want.
Yeah.
And based on this theory, when you come to me with a problem, the first thing I'll ask you is, what do you want? Unataka nini? And then you must first of all be able to clearly define what are your wants and your needs. Kwa sababu unajua shida huwezi solve kama hujui what the problem is.
Yes.
So kwanza shida ni nini? What do you want? Unahitaji nini? That is now the W, the want.
Yes.
And then the next thing is what are you doing to get that want? I want a good education. I want a wife. I want happiness. What are you doing towards that particular need or want? So the D is for doing. And this is the action the person is taking towards that particular need or want. And then we have evaluation. This is now where you sit with your friend who has come to see you. Alafu mnapiga gumzo kabisa.
Yes.
Easy steps zenye una take towards that particular want, satisfying, are they effective? Kama unataka kwenda Nairobi na compass yako inaonyesha unaenda Kisumu, then you start working on that.
Yes.
Are these right? Are these ways right?
Yeah.
Is there a way you can improve? Should you reduce on this? Should you add on this and that? So that's what we talk about evaluation. Evaluation is when you value to judge something. You judge these steps that you want to take.
Yes.
Alafu, eventually, you now plan based on what you've judged. Now, by planning, you can come up with new ways. You can develop new ways of probably moving forward if the old ways were not maybe good as you would have required.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said we first know what you want, and then we do, and then we evaluate, and then we plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is I think it's like a process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just reality. And you know, if you look at those things carefully, you're looking at them now. What do you want now?
Yeah.
Reality.
Yeah, it's reality. What is happening in the present.
Yeah. And even you know, that's for the child at home, when they come, they're fighting. What do you guys want? Why are you competing? We are competing because
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, now having talked about the WDEP, now we can talk, maybe you can talk about the practice of how reality therapy is practiced.
Yeah, so I'll just probably touch on that because you've also looked at it initially.
Yes.
Reality therapy basically what you've said is that it takes what we call a direct approach to solving problems.
Yes.
And I've said that this is one of the therapies. There are hundreds of therapies.
Yeah.
And I've said there's a therapy which, when you come, you know, therapy is an helping exercise. It's a process of helping.
Yes.
So if I'm helping you, I can decide to help you with the background that your problem has been caused by your parents, your problem has been caused by the state of your body, or your problem actually is caused by you. That means that you are the one who holds the key to the solution. And reality therapy takes that approach where it helps you to look at the present situation. And you know, it's normally criticized that it is a no-nonsense. The criticism says, because you know, if you come to me with problem, there's always the issue of I'm supposed to be empathetic. But you know, reality therapist anasema where hakuna mambo ya huruma kwanza, let's look at the situation.
Yes.
Ni kama ukienda hospitali ukiwa uko na kabani mahali kwa mkono. You know what they do? They first of all clean that wound.
Yes.
Yeah, that is reality.
Yeah.
Because you know you can choose to bandage it.
Yes. Yeah.
That thing will not heal. But reality theory says that you should clean. First of all, make sure that wound is clean, and then see what is the problem beyond that wound. From there, you now find a way of probably moving forward.
Now, this is something that we talked about, but maybe you can talk a little bit about it. Criticism on this theory.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what has happened, you know, a theory is one way of looking at something.
Yes.
That's very good to know. And there are so many theories. Theories that explain how human beings behave, how they misbehave, how they do everything in life. So the critics of reality therapy actually are the proponents of other therapies or other theoretical practices.
Yes.
And they're saying that reality therapy does not consider the state of this person. That it is like, it's punching, it's very tough on the client.
Yeah, the fact.
Yeah, because you're helping this guy, but you're coming out very strong.
Yeah.
So the criticism is that it comes out very strong on the client, and probably there is a need to maybe be a bit gentle. Because they are saying that based on reality, it assumes that the problem is what is at hand. But you know, as I've told you, there's a therapy. There are other theories and therapies which assume that the problem is out of control. And you know, there are even theories which says that we have a subconscious, and probably most of our actions are controlled by the subconscious, which is beyond us. But that is not something which is really carried out in the reality therapy. For them, they say, we deal with things as they are right now.
Reality.
And we eat it hard.
Yeah.
And find a solution now.
Okay, but I also tend to think that even you say that the criticism is that the person that is being hit hard.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at it out of topic kidogo. To look at muganga, for example. You know, when someone goes to those doctors, the witch doctors, they go with I don't know, it's a desperation, and then the wagangas hit them hard with the hard truth. Maybe this is a curse from your family. This is like a generational curse, and this is what you can do. Maybe you can bring a black goat for us to break this generational curse. Talk about it, because I don't want people to mix the wagangas and the psychologists.
But you talked about a very good thing, and you can learn from that. When you go to Muganga, there's two ways you can approach it.
Yes.
You can say this thing is generational.
Yes.
When you talk about generational, then it's really telling me that this thing is beyond your control.
Control, yeah.
So it needs you to bring those sacrifices so that you can consult the gods probably.
Yes.
Who can twist your destiny in some way. Now, there's another clip which I've been seeing on social media where somebody goes to a muganga, and it's I think it's just a comical clip. This guy wants to pass exams, and he tells the muganga, "Oh, I want to pass the exams," and then he's asked, "Have you read?" The guy says, "No, I've not read."
I haven't.
"Have you done your studies?" "No." "Did you go to class?" "No." And then muganga goes to the chamber, tells him to close the eyes, goes back to the chamber and comes up with a whip. The same way, another guy was going and saying, I want to marry. And he's being asked, "Have you approached any woman so far?"
No.
"No, I've not." "Have you tried to get a job so that you can support the wife once he comes to the house?" "I've not." "So you want me to help you get a woman?" "Okay, just close your eyes." And Muganga goes and comes with a whip. That is reality now. Because they have not, he has been addressed, they have known the problem. But based on this guy's problem, he needs some reality check. It's not an issue of black chicken and donkeys. So I think that's an online touch, but what we're saying is that when you go to, when you visit a therapist, or when you go and seek help from somebody, there are two approaches. One of them is they can choose to help you with a setup that this problem is beyond your comprehension, is beyond you, while somebody else may come with a setup where he wants you to speak about the problem, come out clearly, and then probably devise a solution. And when that happens, then it is more of reality. The now here approach at this particular time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, maybe you can tell us about the practical application now of reality therapy theory.
Yeah. So one thing, if you have looked at it, is that one application is that in this therapy, you normally have what we call coming up with practical solutions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the applications. Yeah, you aim to come with practical solutions so that if Don comes to see me as a therapist, then when you're leaving my office, we may not need to really book so many other sessions, but we'll actually come up with practical ways of probably heading forward. Yeah, because the alternative is to tell you to go and think about yourself, take a trip somewhere. No. We're coming up with practical solutions. Another application is that it involves direct confrontation of problems, which also brings out the aspect of honesty. Some people will never be honest. They'll tell you, "Oh, this is my problem, A, B, C, D," but there is no honesty. But when they find that you are encouraging the idea of taking them away from the problem and aligning it to another course, then it makes them even more averse to your ways of going. So with reality therapy, then it's normally direct. We also talk about, it looks at a person holistically. That is your thoughts, your emotion, your feeling, and also the biology of the body. So, it's very important because there are some theories that only focus on the mind. They believe that our problems are mentally oriented, while there are some theories that will normally focus on behavior, behavioral-based theories. And the therapy for such kind of theory is also behavior. That means that somebody will tell you to do this, and that. But for reality, both the body and the mind are actually considered. I think that's a good practical application.
And we can say that it's a general application. Yes, and lastly, maybe you can talk about the application of this theory, because after all, we have talked about its application in society and in ourselves, but now maybe we talk a little bit about how we can apply it in the education sector. and maybe to wind up on that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think being that we have a background of education is very obvious that
Yes.
that's where we probably
Yes, yes.
end up. But as you said earlier, I think education is life, and life
Yeah.
is education.
Education,
so
yeah.
anything that is applied education-wise is also
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
It's applied in life. Now, one area in education that we have the application is the area of guidance and counseling, because that is where therapies are normally done in school.
Yes.
If you go to any school, you'll find there's a department
For
there's a
guidance
department of
and
guidance and counseling.
Yeah.
Now, in that department, I think you can help the learners to probably focus, and even the teachers to focus on
Yeah.
their capacity, and also take responsibility
Yeah.
of their problems. Because when you take responsibility of problems, then it gives you the energy and the power to develop positive solutions.
Yes.
And also it gives you the power to change. Because you see, when you align your problem to somebody else, then it becomes really hard to change a person.
Yeah.
If my problems are caused by Dawn, then changing my situation means I have to change Dawn.
Yes.
But when my problems are more aligned to me, then personally I can probably come up with ways of
changing.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also talk about behavior management.
Yeah.
And under behavior management, we are saying that the teacher can incorporate some of these things in the class.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't have to wait for students to come for guidance. Yeah, yeah. As much as possible, try to show the students that their problems, whether academic or not social, they are coming from themselves, or they can be sorted out at a personal level. Yeah, because we have very different backgrounds, and I think if you try to sort issues down, it's very hard, more so in a school, because in a school a teacher has maybe a class of 50 students and is teaching 5-6 classes. University lecture halls 200 plus. The only thing is to empower these guys to be able to sort themselves out, because you cannot solve their problems. And
Yes, yes.
the truth is that sometimes as you're coming to the school, you also have your own.
That's true.
If you empower them, then that's good. If you make them depend on you, then I think you may actually be burdened. We also talk about conflict resolution, and students have their own conflicts now and again.
Yeah.
So it's good to tell them that conflicts must not be solved by the administration. Yeah. That the solution to this conflict lies within them.
Yes.
The only thing is they have to open up on reality and know what is it that we want. Yes, and of course this ties with what we call the peer mediation, where probably a group of people can talk out their problems just at the same level. The peer group, school is so much of peer because people are the same age. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, maybe lastly you can talk about how you can help yourself individually. At the same time, you can talk about goal setting. Those are the things that educationally affect someone. That might give someone a reality check. That is, yes.
Yeah. You talk about something that is education plans.
Yeah.
And if you look even at the current system, it's called the competency-based.
Yes.
We are moving away from what we call the group-based kind of education to the individual-based.
Yeah.
Because we are now, I think that's a very good call from those who thought about it.
Yeah.
Because initially it has been a situation where we are asking ourselves, Don is good because he beat Wilson. But now we are looking at a situation where we are saying Don is good because he knows what he's doing, not because he has defeated me.
Yeah.
Because you see, that has been the issue.
Yeah.
This guy is better because he can perform better than person B.
Yes.
But that should not be an issue because both of them could be lost.
And I remember, Daktari, there's a time you told a few students during micro teaching that when you pass, it is not because that you know what was that you are clever. It is because probably what was said he didn't read what was said. Because you might have read whatever that was in the examinations, but for him he read whatever that was in there. So you are not really
You cannot just say that
judge.
say that you are very bright student.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, maybe then what that day that guy was sick.
Yeah.
You are teaching that concept.
Exactly.
And then that is what was put in the exam. So this guy, and you know that's why we say that intelligence, nobody has zero intelligence.
Yeah.
It's only that people have, and you know this issue of multiple intelligence.
Yeah.
That's what all that comes up to. Plan based on what you have. We talk about goal setting and career counseling. So when you are training on goal setting and career counseling to students, then you should try as much as possible to tell them that their goals should be set based on their own inclinations.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, not what the society wants or what their parents or maybe what they want to impress with, but how they are. Like if you're taking a job, if you're moving in the direction of a job that requires a lot of extrovert activities, then you should know your nature. Like, you know, there's this customer care probably. That's a person who's very social. So if you're an introvert and then you want to do something in that line because you had this money, you'll do it and you'll succeed, but when you get the job, you'll be stressed for the rest of your life. So that individual inclination is very important.
Yes, and maybe lastly you can talk about, I had faced this a little bit earlier in high school, anti-bullying. Yeah, maybe coming up with anti-bullying programs in schools. Yes.
Yeah. So reality therapy, basically, it has the students about what we call actually it brings the student into perspective what they want.
Yes.
Like why? Okay, bullying is there. Why are you bullying? And you know, when that is well set up, then you'll find that the reason behind these issues are not very concrete. So that's what you're saying. So anti-bullying, basically what you're saying is that when you allow a student to identify with who they are, then they find in themselves that they have what we call compassion, they have empathy, they're able to understand, and show them that probably school is more about competition, because that is part of what brings all the problem. You see, when I'm competing with you, then I want to put you down. So that I can go ahead of you.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, but you see, when I tell you that in this life we are moving individually, so that I will be good in activity A and you can be good in activity B. It's not a must that both of us are good in activity A.
Yes.
So when they get to see that picture, then it also reduces the competition. And basically this means that things like bullying, which are results of competition, are also very much reduced. So maybe if we wind up, we can look at what we call building a positive culture, which is also tied to bullying and also student reflection. And these are very important. You know, positive culture, there's no bullying, the culture is not positive. That's very automatic. Students' reflection, these are very important idea. And what we're saying is this, students should be taught to reflect on their learning activities. After a learning experience, they should be allowed to reflect on what they learn, because the current system is such that once you're taught, the next thing is the exam. There's no reflection. So you don't get to know yourself very well. So in reality therapy, then behavior, choices and everything are given an opportunity to actually have what we call a self-reflection. So that, you know, reflection normally occurs after something has happened. So look back, retrace your path, and probably let it help you to move forward.
And I think Daktari, self-reflection, this is, we have talked about it in the education sector, but I still believe that even us, not necessarily in the education as students, even in the society, everyone should do a self-reflection, because obviously when you look at the steps that you've made, that is what makes you move forward, as you said.
That's very true.
Yes.
You know, that's why I find in society we have what we call the copycat. The copycat tendency. Where today you go and open up a business and you're doing it because of passion. And somebody else sees you're doing it and they also want to come and start. They don't even know why you're doing it. And then they find themselves having wasted a lot of money, time and everything, because that is not what they are passionate about. They don't reflect on what they like. But you see, in reality, you normally do what one of our pastor used to say: you call yourself into a meeting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and then you ask yourself, what do I really want?
Yeah.
And probably when you do that, then you already set a very good map for yourself. Because you see, when you're moving and
Yeah.
you don't have a direction, probably there's a very high likelihood you're going to lose your way.
Well, that is it, guys, for today, and we are grateful. We've talked about the reality therapy theory, and there is so much that we've learned. Personally, I have learned that when you go to a therapist, they have to knock you hard. Yeah, you have no excuse for that.
Yeah. It takes two approaches. You see, when you go and take drugs
Yes.
in a store,
Yeah.
there are those drugs that you'll take and you'll feel the pinch because of how tough they are. And most
Yes,
of those drugs, the stomach ache-based drugs,
Yeah.
they're normally very, very sour.
Yeah.
But there are those ones which are sugar-coated.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So all in all, at the end of the day, they are also solving a problem.
Yeah.
But, it all depends with probably the nature.
But according to Daktari,
Yeah.
the reality, the hard reality is the one that solves the issues that you probably have. Yes.
Okay, one thing I'll say is the human person
Yes.
is very dynamic
Yeah.
and very broad.
Okay.
There are issues which require reality therapy.
Yeah.
And there are
Issues that require sugar coating.
Yeah. I'll not tie myself to that, because you know this is a theory. When
Yes.
it becomes a law,
Yeah.
then now we'll say, okay,
it's
the way to
past.
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
but-
we'll just say the human person is very broad, very dynamic,
Yeah.
very versatile.
Yeah.
And that means that it will depend with the problem. Come with the problem, and then we probably look at it, probably if this is a reality-based therapy, or this is a psychodynamic, this is a behavioral.
Yeah.
All in all, it all depends with that.
Wow. Well, we have come to the end of Unchained Theories. And you've been with me, Donald Neko, and
Dr. Willis Adero.
And we are grateful that you've been with us, and see you next time.
Yes.
Follow for subscribe and like and share so that we can continue learning.
Yes.